Hello. Not sure if we're live yet. Just checking out a few things before I start talking. But this is our Monday mandate on a Thursday. If there's absolutely anybody watching this at all, if not, that's okay. We're still just kind of going through this to, hey, I guess it started with me taking a drink. So we're going to have some reverb real quick. Not sure if we're live yet. Just checking out a few things before I start talking. But this is our other laptop. Be quiet on a Thursday. Other laptop. Shush. There it goes. So we don't have that reverb. Okay. So just wanted to start doing kind of a Monday mandate, a weekly mandate, and of course I know today is Thursday, April 22nd. But that's okay. You got to start somewhere. So kind of my agenda, as our cat is eating behind me, is just go over some of the business news here in the Flint Hills and the greater Manhattan area. Just talk about a few things. And if anybody wants to comment, it looks like I am live on my Facebook. You'll notice right here, since my camera's backwards on me, that Restream bobble right there. That's the service I'm using so that I can broadcast on Facebook and YouTube and hopefully LinkedIn soon. Apparently, you can't do live videos on LinkedIn either without paying a lot or without having enough followers or being an influencer or something. So I'm working on that. But this Restream right now is still kind of a free service for me. And then we'll see if it works out. Maybe I'll pay for it and whatnot. So yeah, let's get right into it. Just a few. Oh, why am I doing this? Just, everybody says just create content. So we're creating content. We're just starting discussion about the business climate, the small business climate, the entrepreneurial climate here in the Flint Hills area and in, greater Manhattan. So that's why I'm doing this. So if anybody wants to comment at any point live or later on, like I said, it is on my Facebook. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. Let's see if I can share it somewhere else. Well, let me share to something. Let's see here. We're just playing for a minute, guys. I'll tell you what, I will share it to that. The Monday mandate on a Thursday. Okay. So we'll see if it shares to that and we'll kind of go from there. So, okay, I don't know what happened to my Facebook feed, but that's okay. Oh, it's still going. Good. So let's just talk business in Manhattan. Let's just talk business and small business in the Flint Hills. So to start off, just on a personal note, let me reach over here and grab this. What am I reading this week? Talking to Strangers by Malcolm Gladwell. This was recommended to me. And yes, I got this at the Manhattan Public Library, which is open for business. That book, Talking to Strangers from Malcolm Gladwell, was recommended to me by a friend. Basically, what I believe I will glean from it is, it's how to talk to people that have completely either different perspectives from you to try to either compromise or have a civil conversation, or people that just come from completely different backgrounds. With everything we see in the news here lately, you can see that even though we all speak English, it seems there is still such a huge gap in how we communicate with each other. And until we can either find that common ground or until we can understand kind of where the other person's coming from in a conversation, then we're not going to find that common ground. We're not going to find a compromise. We're not going to be able to move forward because either because of my experiences, because of my background, I don't understand where that person's coming from. I honestly don't. And then, being a 50-year-old man that spent 20 some odd of those years in the military, in combat zones, I have completely different frame of reference of life than what someone else may have that either, I'm trying to do business with, or I'm trying to partner with, or that may have an issue that now I am a part of, or I am maybe part of that solution, or I may just be part of that problem ecosystem. And maybe I just need help trying to understand how to understand the other person. So that's hopefully what that book is all about. We'll see. I generally can, read that book and digest it, take notes, give it a week, and I'll let everybody know. So, book of the week, once again, is Talking to Strangers by Malcolm Gladwell. Okay, on to Manhattan business news. Big thing I've gleaned the past week or so, and it's probably been more than a week since it's been out, and not sure if a whole lot of people have read it, but there was the chamber did put out the Manhattan Business Conditions Report, and basically, and I can give you the executive summary. Sorry, I'm looking at 3 screens here. The executive summary, they did a survey of about I want to say 50 or 60 businesses here in the area to just kind of get the pulse of what those businesses were thinking, how they were moving forward, what the current business ecosystem is like here in Manhattan and in the Flint Hills. And from a statistical standpoint, from a survey taking standpoint, somebody brought this to my attention, and then I kind of went back and read the whole thing again and looked at this. The 54 employers or companies that this survey that they sent the survey out to, and that they got the data back and the opinions back from, I mean, these were all pretty decent sized companies. There are no, at least when I look down this list of 54 companies, and you can look at this, it's on the chamber website under resources. It's the 2021 Business Conditions Report, I believe, is what it's called. I can tell you right now what it's called. It is the 2021 Business Conditions Report. But the 54 Greater Manhattan employers that participated in this business survey, they were all either decent sized companies with quite a few employees, or they were very professional level companies, engineering companies, Evergy. They sent this survey to Evergy, which has gosh knows how many employees, and where they are. And that's what struck me is, they reached out to these companies, but there's no mom and pop companies on this list. There's no true kind of micro business or micro small business or even small business. We tend to define a small business as anyone with under 500 employees, which is the vast majority of businesses in Manhattan and in the Flint Hills. But just looking at this list, it would seem like they, could have asked more mom and pop type organizations in this survey. But it's their survey, it's their data, so it's their thing. Basically the executive summary, which is, here's this 16-page report in 1 page. The 2 biggest takeaways were the vast majority of companies, 72%, reported problems with recruiting and retaining employees. And the other kind of negative, if you will, comment was the top weaknesses identified by the employers was inadequate labor supply and high cost of living. So basically, not enough workers, and the cost of living, the rent's too damn high. That argument that we have here in Manhattan. On a plus side, a plus that came out of this survey was Manhattan's quality of life, business climate, and employee work ethic were overwhelmingly cited as the top strengths of doing business in our community. So we're very Kansas nice in the way we do business. However, we just, according to this report, according to the data that they're putting out, is there's just not enough employees, not enough quality, recruiting and retaining employees is a problem, and high cost of living. Now, we can all pretty much agree with that. That's kind of the trope around here right now, that, yeah, There's not enough high quality employees, and cost of living is too high. I did sitting around having coffee like I do a lot with the other business owners, and one or two of them said, "Well, Kirk, look at the flip side of that. Why don't we have quality employees? Why can't we recruit and retain employees here? Why is the cost of living so high? So like with any argument or any comparison, kind of look at the antithesis of it, the opposite of it, and maybe try to answer that question. And some of the things I heard from other business owners was, you know, we don't have quality employees because maybe we're not paying that much. And I'm not trying to get into the whole $15 minimum wage kind of debacle or argument, but think about what it takes to recruit and retain quality employees. Now, you could be of the old school of they should be happy they just got a damn job. They should be happy they have a job right now in COVID times, or slightly post COVID times. Or something along those lines. Or when it comes to high cost of living, well, if people didn't have big expensive cars, they could have a decent house and stuff like that. Well, those are just meaningless arguments. But perhaps we really need to look at why can't we recruit and retain those employees, instead of just saying this is the problem. Let's work on the solution. And is it, do we need to pay better? Do we need to have, perhaps an employer needs to have better benefits or better work conditions? Because remember, your employees are your biggest marketing tool, because they're going to go home to their families, or they're going to go out with their friends, and they're going to say, man, either my boss or my work environment is horrible, or they're going to say, man, my work environment is awesome. And just like everything else we know, when it comes to customer service and everything else, if somebody has a bad experience, they're going to tell everybody. If somebody has a so-so experience, they're going to tell nobody. And it takes a really, really wicked great experience for them to kind of be an advocate for you, or to be a champion for your business. You've really got to wow them. That's just human nature. That's psychology. So maybe when it comes to the employee part, look at your employees as your biggest marketing tool for your business. They literally are the face of your business, whether they're customer facing or not. They are the biggest marketing piece of your business. So if you're a business owner, think about your work environment. Think about the work ethic that you, the leader, or you, the owner, or your managers are bringing to the table. And, maybe that will help the recruiting and the retaining of employees. When it comes to, the high cost of living, I mean, we're trying to identify that. We know we're working on that. We've got the housing authority, and every other, it seems, type of government entity is trying to figure out, how do we get better workforce housing. Now there's the bureaucracy behind it, of just what it takes to build a house in Manhattan, or what it takes to revamp one of those old houses that was turned into a sixplex for college kids, turn it back into a single family home, and stuff like that. All of that has to be addressed. And everybody can kind of be blamed for how all that stuff happened. We really just need to start working on either how can we make housing more affordable, or how can we raise raise the standard of living to make housing more affordable. So that was the biggest pieces coming out of that. Just wanted to touch on that. Sorry, I went a little longer on that than I wanted to, but it is a great read, about 16 pages. So, a couple minutes to read that. The 2021 Business Conditions Report. It's on the Chamber website under resources. Okay, moving down my little agenda for tonight. Hey, everybody's favorite time of year, which almost nobody outside of government bureaucracy cares about, but it's budget season. We are about to start putting together budgets for 2022, and especially coming out of COVID, threw a lot of budgets out of whack. So what does that mean to you as a business owner? If you do anything with a government entity, in the area. If you're a contractor, if you bid for, city or county projects, or if you're some type of sub, if you're somewhere in the food chain, for those projects, actually budget season might be something you want to look at. Look at, what departments may be actually getting money, what departments are fighting for money, in the city or in the county. And then that can kind of maybe help guide your long range plan, your long range strategic plan of, if you're going after those type of contracts, kind of where to go. And not only that, as absolutely boring and monotonous as it may sound to, for you to say, hey, let's go have fun with the city or county budget process, there's a lot of information that can be learned going through that process as a small business owner in the area. Because, and we all know this, governments are the largest kind of contractors. They're the largest customers of small business. And of course, there's all types of people that can help you with that. If you have no clue how to get into government contracting, whether it's the city, the county, the state, the national level, you go talk to Dr. Lori Piper at Small Business Development Center. You could probably you could talk to anybody at the chamber. They'll point you in the right direction. They'll probably point you straight to Lori. We have a PTAC, which stands for something, out of Wichita State, which has totally free services for small businesses and sole proprietorships to help them get into government contracting. Even how to put together your SAMs and your, Duns and Broadstreet and all that stuff. There are free resources out there for small businesses. I would say your first step is contact Dr. Lori Piper, Small Business Development Center here in Manhattan. Just contact the chamber. They'll get you in touch with her, and she can really help out if there's anything, if you want to try to contract with any level of government. Just some other basic stuff. Everybody knows, I guess my superpower is drinking coffee and talking to people, which is what I seem to do most of the day, and that it works. So a lot of the places that I talk to people, or if you're, you have a small business, or you're a, solopreneur, or you're an entrepreneur, and you're like, man, I really want to get my side hustle and take it to the next level. There are a lot of organizations and, people in town that really want to see you succeed. Including, of course, we've got 1 Million Cups every Wednesday. It's virtual right now, totally free. Every Wednesday at 9 a.m. They have 2 presenters which talk about their business. It's not a pitch competition. It's not, it's not Shark Tank. It's a group of people that want to educate and connect. And they have some great organizers. So if you Google 1 Million Cups Manhattan, or look on Facebook, 1 Million Cups Manhattan, you'll see the contact information, how to get in with them and get on their contact list and everything. It's a great organization. It's a great place to learn more about, small business and entrepreneurship. Of course, if you're just really looking to do network marketing, if you're just trying to, if you want to learn how to network, there's organizations in town, both BNI, stands for Business Networking International. There's 2 separate groups, 2 chapters of that in town. So once again, just Google BNI Manhattan, Kansas, BNI Business Networking International. We also have the Manhattan Referral Network, kind of along the same vein, a little more casual than BNI. But once again, Google it, or Facebook, Manhattan Referral Network. Let's see. Spark is an organization. Sarah Siders has a Spark Entrepreneurship organization here in Manhattan that is kind of a hub of information, for people that are on their entrepreneurial journey, or small businesses that just either are looking for help or don't know what help they need. Once again, Google it, or look on Facebook, or look on my Facebook, and I'm connected with them. But that is Spark. In fact, let me just give you the exact Google here real quick. Spark. Sarah's going to kill me because I should know this off the top of my head. Yep, just sparkmhk.com. So sparkmhk.com, and a nonprofit organization with a mission to connect, engage, and support a culture of entrepreneurship in the greater Manhattan community. So there's the information about Spark. Of course, the Chamber of Commerce is another great, source of information for entrepreneurs and small businesses, um, to connect with resources. And then something else that I'm involved with, is it's called the First Friday e-call. It's through one of the KSU extension agencies. That is, it's one of the extension offices that deals just with rural entrepreneurship and rural small businesses here in Kansas. The First Friday e-call. And once again, I was not prepared to give out this info, which I really should have. And that is another, I think it's Susan or Barbara. She's going to kill me for not being prepared. First Friday e-call. That'll come up real quick. Yep, First Friday e-calls are through the K-State Research and Extension Office. So just Google. I literally Googled First Friday e-call, and it came up with their website. Get on. It's first Friday of every month. They talk to somebody who's either doing really cool rural entrepreneur stuff, or a resource, a government resource that can help rural entrepreneurs. Which, even though Manhattan's a cool city of about 50,000, it's still pretty rural. As our friends will say, that's rural. So that's really all I had. I can't believe I've been babbling here for like 20 minutes already. I'm just putting out content. Like I said, I just wanted to, talk for a while and talk about what's going on in the business area here in Manhattan and in the Flint Hills. If there's anything anybody really wants to talk about, maybe next time. I'm going to try to do this. I'd love to just do this every Monday. That's why it's called a Monday Mandate. But you know how Mondays go, but we're going to put it on the schedule for every Monday, probably right around the same time, maybe 6 or 6:30 p.m. as we're winding down the day, to talk and just talk business and small business and entrepreneurship here in Manhattan. One question I always get is, Kirk, what do you do? Well, I drink a lot of coffee and I talk to a lot of people. That's pretty much my days. But in all seriousness, right now, I do consulting. Got a client that is big in the self-storage space and car washes. I am a fund manager. We are doing a cap raise for a real estate fund. However, due to Securities and Exchange Commission rules, I can't advertise. I can't publicly advertise. You cannot publicly advertise a 506B. It's called a 506B fund or 506B securities. So I can't tell you really what it's about. Basically, all I can say is if you are an accredited investor, which means you know what an accredited investor is. If you don't know what an accredited or sophisticated investor is, shoot me a message and I'll let you know if you are one. But if you are an accredited investor without advertising this fund, I'd love to talk to you. That, and of course, we have our nonprofit up in Summerfield, the Tower Garden Farm. Myself and Gary Smith. The very 30-second elevator speech on that is, we are building a curriculum for transitioning veterans to transition to kind of back into rural America. I am a retired first sergeant, and I know a lot of guys and gals joined the military to get away from wherever they're from. And so as they transition out, probably the last thing they want to do is go back there. And we know that the transition process can be difficult for a lot of people, especially, our wartime, generation of veterans that we have right now. So what Transition Plus does is we are building a curriculum based around learning about agriculture, learning about healthy eating, learning about entrepreneurship, learning about small business ownership. It is a work in progress, and we are in the very early stages of it. We do have a facility in Summerfield that actually has Tower Gardens in there. We are actually growing produce and selling it. So if you want some information on that, you can go to ruralgrow.org. That's our website, which is also, we're working on that too, but it's got some basic information there. If you'd like to know anything about that project, for Transition Plus. Transition Plus, that the fund, also kind of on a health and wellness kick. If you want to improve your diet, if you want to, kind of eat some better foods and stuff like that, love to talk to you about that. Those who've known me for a while knew I wasn't exactly, slim and trim when I was in the military. And then I got out, and Coors Light and tacos made that even worse. They say you work out before you're 35 to look sexy, and after 35 because death is coming. And that's the stage I'm at right now of just trying to stay healthy so I can, make it to my kids' college graduation. It's a joke, guys. But anyway, yeah, if you'd love to learn about eating more healthily, or just eating healthy and stuff like that, I'd love to talk to you about that. But yeah, gonna try to do this every Monday, the Monday Mandate. We're gonna talk about business stuff, small business stuff in this area. So if anybody has some subjects or there's anything in particular you'd love to talk about, we also teach, everything from financial analysis to, marketing, to some HR stuff, to operations, to just learning how to read your own numbers, your business numbers, how to read your profit and loss reports and all your other reports that kind of give you the pulse of your business. If you need some help with that, if you have no clue how to use QuickBooks, or anything like that, just reach out. There are a lot of people in this area that want to see, the third leg of our local economy. The first leg being Fort Riley, the second leg being K-State, the third leg being private businesses, small businesses and micro businesses. There are a lot of people that want to see those entrepreneurs and those small businesses succeed, and I would love to connect you with them. So for now, it's a Monday Mandate on a Thursday. Everybody have a great weekend, and we will see you back here Monday at this time. Have a great night.